Good morning, I'm Hello Rodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. Well, it's 6:49, 57 degrees inside. And, wow. Uh, oh, my phone and my thing that's set up here fell over last night. There was this little board, this little thing here. I put that up in front of my, where I sit in front of my computer, because when I open the window sometimes the light comes in. So it just fell over, and it's probably because it was just sitting there in a kind of a weird spot. But it could have been big giant rat. Ta-da! What's going on here? It's like a mystery. It's a mystery that can never be figured out. It's mysterious. Oh boy. Well, let's see what's going on back here. Boy, 57 degrees. You know, it's not really cold. House is working great, so. Uh-oh, let's see what's going on. Let's see. Gotta check my traps. Nothing. That's good. If I was trapping beaver, I'd be disappointed. That's all we need. Do you ever read the book King Rat? If you haven't never read that book, it's a good book. Excellent book. What's the name of, who is it? James Clavell, King Rat. He was like a corporal or something like that in the military, but he was the king of the concentration camp run by the Japanese of the prisoners because he could feed everybody. Then when they were liberated, he was just a regular guy getting on a truck. It's just like me, except different. And the opposite. Think about it. This is a 1,000 Inte note from Peru. 1,000 Intes. It's a shitload of money. At one time, I guess. That right there, that's what happens in some countries. Their currency gets to be so bad or whatever, they just eliminate it and start over. So that currency was worth 8 cents per note. I bought it for 8 cents. So like buying the German mark during World War II. A bushel basket of them, you could buy like a loaf of bread or something. But I started off doing this video going to tell you about, as the light hit me like that, check out my face. I'm getting freaking old. You go back 5 years, 6 years, I wonder if it has anything to do with, I wonder if it has anything to do with I don't have a thyroid now. That I'm getting older looking. I'm losing my boyish good looks. Damn it! I hate it when that happens. But go back a few years and look at my face compared to the way it looks now. I'm so lonely. But I started off doing this video. I was going to do a video and this clock is set in a perpetual, 6:18. That was the time I was born. I was going to do a video about how when I get up in the morning, maybe it's because I'm so warm at night. The cold doesn't bother me too much. But by the time I get suited up and all my, all the stuff that I have, I'm pretty warm. So the sun's coming up, so why build a fire? I feel sorry for a lot of people that live around here because I know that they're freezing their ass off right now. They are really freaking cold. There was a guy who kind of get upset every time I think about this. Well, not really upset. I tried to let that. I did let it go. The guy that was building my website and all that stuff. And he was living with his girlfriend. Right? He had 2 kids he was taking care of. His kids. He had a fight with her, so he took off up to his place. He had a place here with a trailer house and everything. But he didn't have water, so he had to haul water. He didn't have heat, so he had to get propane. But then he'd run out of propane. Then he'd come down and ask me for money for propane and shit like that. And then the guy, he owed me. He came one day. I don't have a car, if I can get this car. And had a guy with him who had the car and everything. Gave him the money for a car. Trying to take care of this guy because he was working for me. And And then he got back with his girlfriend. And his girlfriend was nice. I liked his girlfriend. His girlfriend was okay. And so I was, and at some point he just got so freaked out that he packed up his 2 kids. No, I think at that one time that his one kid had left and gone to live with his mother. So he had one kid, and then he just got so freaked out that his kid, and his dog, big freaking dog. This dog was so unruly that it would jump through windows, literally through the glass to get out of a house and stuff like that. It was like one of those, husky wolf mixes or some fucking thing. I don't know. It was like a retarded dog. And him and they all left. Got in and they left. He left his girlfriend. His girlfriend had bought a house, and they're paying a mortgage on the house, and he and his dog and his son left him. Then naturally she went up there with him to be with him because she loves him. Like fucking morons. What made me think of that? Why did you get me on the subject of that? I go to make a video about puppy dog tails and sugar and spice and everything nice, and ended up with a puppy dog video because I'm doing a video, and also because of you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're ruining my life. Nobody cares because you're ruining my life. Show you something I got. I don't know where I got this, but this is really something special. You may not think it's special, but it is. Let's see. It's a rock, but the textures on it are so beautiful. You can't really gonna see it on video, but it's got a lot of really. There we go. Maybe we can see it there with a little less glaring light. Let's look at the textures of that thing. And the coloration. It's beautiful. Do 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 do. Oh. I got this beautiful card. This is a card that's been cut out, and it's got a piece of cloth behind there. It's a beautiful card. I got that from some people that, well, I don't want to tell you who they are. It's private. I'm a very private person, even though I make videos. I never told you, but that's my grandpa. This is my great-grandpa. And that's Granny. And that's Bunny. Yeah. This, I found, I think it's Otis Parsons. Matter of fact, I did a video the other day about Philip Guston. I think Otis Parsons is where he went to school, and Otis Parsons was close to where I lived in LA. And I found that. It was in a roll of stuff. And so I cut it out and put it on there. This is, he looks Italian to me. And this is a sculpture, a bust in Rome, and that's also a sculpture in Rome. And this is the bridge, and the reason I put this here is if you go and you look at these paintings by, what is his name? A guy, he made his name by doing those cakes and stuff like that. Wayne Thiebaud. And Wayne Thiebaud does these scenes from San Francisco, and he does paintings where the streets look like that. And I thought, there is no way that looks real. But that's what that bridge looks like from a little castle that's across the street. That's probably about, I'd say it's, probably 60 feet, probably about 6 stories high. across the street from that, and I took a photograph of that, and that's what it looked like. So what Wayne Thiebaud is doing is actually accurate. It just looks so distorted that you look at it and think, wow, that can't be, but it is. And that building, that little castle thing, is not 6 stories high, but it sits up on a little hill. I don't know if it's a hill that they built, but there's a hill there, and then there's this little castle, and that's where the Pope would go if there was like stuff going on. And there was the river that crosses. There was a little tributary of some sort that was underneath there where they would get water. It's interesting. Huh. And it was about, I think it was about, yeah, it was probably about 30 feet high or something like that. I can't remember. But there was you get to the top of it, and there was a hole in the floor that would go all the way down, that you could see that would go all the way down to that little river thing. Or I don't know, because the river's going the opposite way of where this thing was going into the river. So I don't know if it was a little tributary or it was something that had been dug underneath there and the water was doing a thing. I don't know what it was. But there was a hole there, and I guess where they could retrieve water from that area. I don't know what they were doing. You know, the guy said, oh, and they would put like a carpet on there and someone would walk there and they would go down. You know, it's freaking Hollywood shit to say something like that. Of course, maybe it was true. I mean, people, you know, the strangest stuff has happened in the world, so that could very well be true. I almost did it to myself because underneath that is a thing, you know, it was scary. It was scary. Oh, if you go back to my video, see, that's me right there. If you go back to my OJ video that I just did, and that's me right there in that hat, and there's a video that I found where the guy, his name's Big Money Griff, which I knew that guy, you know, we knew each other, we were doing the OJ thing together. He was doing his thing, you know, defending OJ, you know, and I was doing my thing. And he was a good guy, I liked him. And someone was doing a video of him at the moment of when the verdict came in. And I think it's at 1 minute and 5 seconds of the video, they're scanning the people, and there's a guy standing there wearing, who's me, in that hat. It's just like they're just scanning by, so it's like you have to freeze it just to see, but that's me at that period. So, anyway. See what this looks like. I painted this last night, or I painted over something last night because I wanted to do something. I wanted to put that message. I've been working hard lately, been making all kinds of stuff, and it was like, what was it? It was a Big Bang Theory where they were throwing out all the stuff that one of these professors died at the and they were going through all this stuff, and they came up on all these books and books of calculations and stuff, and they were thinking that maybe he was onto some discovery, and they're talking about how when you die that there'll be, and they were supposed to go through all this stuff and look at it before throwing it away, and you know, and so at one point they just started throwing it away, but then they discovered this book with all these calculations and stuff, so they knew that this guy had shared an office with this other guy, so they went to see him, and the calculations were of his dietary program were like calorie calculations or something. So eventually someone will come here and throw everything in my stuff and throw it away. those OJ things. They'll probably all be in the dump, you know. Oh, you can get it at the flea market for $1. Yeah. I have a secret language that I use. I have a secret language. And that's me. No, there's my secret language right there. There's something that you can see if you can decipher that. That right there is me. And that over there is me. And it was really interesting to see that I was in that video. Oh, there's also another video that I was in. This goes back, well, it goes back to this. Where is it? Oh, where is it? Right here. This is Picasso. Picasso, a retrospective. It was at the Museum of Modern Art in the 80s. I think it was 80. I think it was 80. I think it's 1980. I think it was 1980. It's like 30 years old. And I was doing these crazy things. And so I had taken there was this magazine, an art magazine from New York. It was very avant-garde, you know. And I sent them a letter saying that I had something I'd like to send them, but they have to send me an envelope with their address and all that on it. So I go to the post office one day, and there's this envelope ready for me to send something to. So I went to my truck, and I swept out all the dirt from the floorboard with all the sunflower seed shells and everything, and sent it to them. I never heard back. But it's that same time frame that the Picasso retrospective was going on in New York. And this is all related to the story about being in a video. Okay. And so I had made a big piece, the biggest piece of paper I could get, Xeroxed, and I Xeroxed this thing and put a bunch of stuff on it. Let me show you what it is. Oh, this brings back some freaking memories right here, boy, I tell you. This right here, this is the cover off of a TV guide, and it says right here, I love you. I can't read it with all my God. I love you, Michael Jackson. I love Michael. Let's see. Let me get my glasses here. I love Michael Jackson's songs, Thriller. Okay. My daughter wrote that. Oh, let's see when the date is. April the 7th through the 13th, 1984. Okay. So I have that in this book. That's where I keep that. But I have this other thing. Oh, this is a poem I wrote a long time ago. Let me get my glasses. I'll read you this. Let's see if I can remember to go back and show you what I was gonna show you. I should be able to. The book is right there. Let's see here. Oh, man. Oh. This is the type of videos I was doing at that time. I mean, Xeroxes. That's the Xerox I did at that time. Okay, this is from 1983. The sun has risen and cast shadows of disgust upon the naked bodies of the beautiful people. They looked more dead than asleep. The giveaway was the downturned mouths of all, the sign that what was within was not well with God. The clock of forgiveness slowly ticked, or so they said, and often thought. For not they, in all their finery, could say when the time would come, though the lies that left their lips said never, the hearts of all knew better. I was a guy who couldn't read, never read an assignment in school, and never read a book until I was 23, but I can write poetry like that. And I won the poetry contest. It's a good thing I didn't know how to read. I would have never been able to write something that good. Let's see here. Pablo Picasso painted that in 1885, 86. Let's see when he was born. Oh, 81. 1881. In 1885, 1895, 96. So he was 81, 14, like what was 14 years old? 81 to 90, yeah, he was 16. I can't, man, my brain is not working. 14, when he did it, he was like around 15 years old when he did that. How in the fuck old was the guy? My brain is not working. I used to work really like pow, pow, pow. Now I have to like concentrate on things as simple as this, figuring out 95, 16. So he was between, 14 and 15 years old. He painted that. See if I can find. This was a great show. 900 Picassos. Freaking awesome. The greatest artist who's a contemporary, who lived during my lifetime. This is what this guy was doing. He wrote this whole thing, Dear Picasso fan, and stuff like that. The Art Project, Paul, number 306. I will publicly burn a hand-signed print. Paul, here you go, write him a letter. 130 8th Street, 8th Avenue, Brooklyn. And he was passing this stuff out. Oh, here he is, right here. Here's Paul. Right there. Oh, here's your certificate. This is a certificate that Mr., Ms., something we're putting in is a creation of art who is reflecting his, her century better than most other art. Paul. Here's some stuff about laws are changed continuously by Congress courts. Revolution, money value is changed by inflation, trade, interest rates. Religion is changed by reformer science, opportunism, art, impressionism, cubism, Bauhaus, pop, conceptual, kinetic, da-da-da-da-da-da. So he was doing that thing, okay? And I was handing out something too, not nearly that as elaborate, and smaller than that. And anyway, now to get back to where I was in a video, or at that time of film, my wife was telling me, because I was at work, that she had watched this thing on the Picasso retrospective, like a documentary of the piece, and as the thing opened up, I was in there handing out my thing. So that was documented in that for the Picasso retrospective, that I was actually handing out stuff in 1980, and then I was doing this thing right here in the 1980s, I guess it was, and then I did the thing on 9/11. I did those two giant pieces on 9/11. So, you know, I've been doing this stuff a long time, and not receiving any kind of financial reward or, you know, I did get one write-up in the LA Times where I was, you know, it was not a glowing response. It was a response to a show that was a group show of my O.J. Simpson things. But those O.J. Simpson pieces are absolute art. That's pure art. There's nothing more to it than what you saw. But it's actual reality. It's historical. Those are historical documents. Americana. You know, but nobody knows about that. So when I die, they'll take them and throw them in the trash at the dumpster, and then somebody like me will collect them and have them hanging around, and then they'll die, and then they'll get thrown away for good. And maybe somebody will at some point say, you know what, those things, that's why I should do a video of all of them. Set it up, do a really, really good video, explain what they are. I'd like to see all of those go to one location, because to break it up wouldn't be good, because they're not really decorative things. They're not something that you put on your wall. I mean, you could put them on your wall, and you know, and have something on your wall. Oh, here's something this already framed. You can have this on your wall. It would be a lovely thing to talk about. It would just be so magnificent. Everyone would love it. It's so wonderful that I put this piece right here, which is when I was living in this house, when I was this age right here. I had done this piece. I think I had done this piece even prior to that, and brought it with me when we came to build a house. And I put that in front of this piece because it's so disturbing that I can't even look at it. And I made it. Oh, look at this. That's right there. This is the gallery that had one of my pieces. $4,000. If they would have sold my piece for $4,000, you know how much I got out of it? Probably almost nothing. Because they weren't telling me they were selling it, trying to sell for $4,000. But you can have that O.J. piece. And that's like underneath, she's laying on a blanket of, that's, what is it called? Lace. All those stab wounds. She's like a bather on the beach laying on a blanket there. That's a good piece. That's a real good piece. This is some wisdom that if I could learn this, I would be a happier man. I'm Ella Rodney. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.